Folks, what a quarterfinal round we have had so far. Two matches going to penalty shootouts, and Morocco beating Portugal earlier today 1-0. And we could not probably have a better matchup than this to wrap up this quarterfinal action. It's England against France as they renew a classic European rivalry. Hello, everyone. I'm Mahir Hassan. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon for what should be a great matchup ahead of us. England against France, two teams that go back a long way against each other. Just looking at the head-to-head, this will be their 32nd matchup between these two countries. England leads the all-time series with 17 wins, 5 draws, and 9 losses. The most recent result was in June of 2017 in a friendly. France won that 3-2. This will be their third matchup at the World Cup. England won the previous two matches by 2 goals each back in 1966 and 1982. With that, let's take a look at the starting lineups for France, since they're your on-paper visitors for today. It's going to be the same lineup that we saw on Sunday when they faced off against Poland. Hugo Lloris in goal, and then you've got Hernandez, Upamecano, Varane, and Koundé across the back. Rabiot, Tchouaméni as your holding midfield. Mbappe, Griezmann, and Dembele will be your attacking midfield. And then Giroud up top. Once again, France led by Didier Deschamps. For England on the other side, they're going with the 4-3-3. Same formation, same lineup they used against Senegal on Sunday. Pickford once again in goal. Shaw, Maguire, Stones, and Walker will be across the back. Your midfield will be Bellingham, Rice, and Henderson. And then your three up top, Foden, Kane, and Saka. And of course, England head coach Gareth Southgate. You look at these two teams that have had a lot of glory and have come close to it, especially in the European ranks over the last few years. Of course, France won the Nations League in 2021, won the World Cup in 2018, and if it wasn't for England blowing a 1-0 lead against Croatia in the semifinal, could have been your 2018 World Cup final. It's England, it's France, right here from Bayt Stadium. Going to be a great game ahead of us, and it will definitely show today. As England has done throughout this World Cup, they will take a knee before kickoff as a sign of respect for everything going on. Nonetheless, England and France underway here from Bayt Stadium. France in their typical Les Bleus kits, going from right to left. England in their white tops, navy blue shorts, going from left to right. Just like that, a little miscue there. Harry Maguire, I think, was looking for Luke Shaw there on the left. I didn't see what happened, but still 20 seconds in and already an errant pass there by England. So it looked like Shaw was thinking there might have been a deflection. Nonetheless, it's going to be France who takes the throw in here. And with that, Dembele will just give it back towards Jordan Pickford. Good matchup. Good matchup on tap today from Bayt Stadium. This will be England's second matchup here. Faced off against the United States here earlier in the World Cup. That ended out in a 0-0 draw. This one, once again, sent up the pitch. I want to check to see. Because Bayt Stadium hosted another quarterfinal. I forget which one. Or, pardon me, not quarterfinal. A round of 16 match. And yes, so this is actually, my apologies, this is actually England's third match at Bayt Stadium as they played here against Senegal. Won 3-0. Interestingly enough, if they were to win today, they'll be back here on Wednesday for the semifinal against Morocco. What a win Morocco picked up. 1-0 against Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo was on the bench to start that match. Came in about 50 or so minutes through the match, but unable to get a goal. Much was the case for his teammates. Nonetheless, here comes Hernandez now. Dashing forward with pace now to Mbappe on the left. Mbappe against Walker. There's a lot of talk about this matchup. Mbappe able to skate away for now. It's going to be an interesting kind of your left tandem. You got Saka and Walker for England on their right. You got Rabiot, Hernandez, and Mbappe for France. And as I said, I mean, I was going through the ranks and just ranking each knockout stage, and this was obviously number one. I think Netherlands Argentina was number 2. Croatia Brazil was 3 because I actually in some lineups thought Croatia might pull upset, but Morocco Portugal I think was the most shocking to me. Nonetheless, poor passing by England once again out for France thrown, and there's a look at Didier Deschamps, only the third person in World Cup history to win the World Cup as a player and then as a coach. This one picked up by Bukayo Saka. He's got options both ways. Goes out to Harry Kane on the wing. Kane whips it in and is deflected or blocked rather away towards the touchline. Now towards Rice. Declan Rice, Harry Kane. Kane with the clip through. Can't find Phil Foden there in the middle as this one goes back for France. Good work there. You got Teo Hernandez playing there in left back. Henderson now for Foden. Foden's shot blocked there by Jules Koundé. Koundé, of course, kind of got on the humorous side of the World Cup against Poland as he had to take a chain out in the middle of the play, although that chain was taken out in the 41st minute. So it took that long for the refs to realize this guy's got a chain on, and it could be just for the safety and probably in sense in general. Of course, that happens a few times, even in like some other soccer. I mean, even going down to youth soccer as well. I mean, if you're going to go to say soccer or rec soccer in general, say soccer is kind of the big youth group here in Cincinnati. That's why I kind of commonly refer to it as say soccer. Boys playing soccer. Sometimes everybody's got to play safe. Nonetheless, here's Maguire now on the ball. This one clipped through, looking for Foden on the left against Koundé. Foden now towards Jude Bellingham. Shaw. Bellingham still on the ball. Back out towards the man himself, Luke Shaw. Little collision there with Foden, and he'll earn the free kick here. It's good work there by Phil Foden, the Manchester City man. Able to get it here in the 5th minute. Once again, another chance for England. Luke Shaw to take this now on the left-hand side. Again, thanks for tuning in. Saturday afternoon, final quarterfinal of this 2022 World Cup. Final doubleheader also here in the live streams after that. Just one game per day, unfortunately. Got Sunday and Monday off. Tuesday, Wednesday will be your semis. Thursday and Friday I'm off. Saturday, Sunday, third place game, and the finals, respectfully. Nonetheless, here's Shaw. Whips this in with his left foot. Headed down and away there by Upamecano. Good work there. It looked like there was a tussle there in the area either way. Actually, no, it was offside. So, once again, it goes back to France for a free kick, which almost is treated like a goal kick. I think they're calling it on Maguire here. Harry Maguire, number 6. And you think about it, too, for England. I mean, a lot of these guys were on the squad back in 2018 when they ended up losing to that match to Croatia. I'd have to look that up. But obviously, I think that would be something. Same goes for France. Obviously, no Paul Pogba, no N'Golo Kante in this World Cup, both of whom are out with injuries. But still, a lot of guys. Antoine Griezmann played, and Kylian Mbappe, Olivier Giroud. Overall, not bad. You think about, and Ousmane Dembele was an option off the bench. So you think about it, all 4 of your attackers per se all had experience in that 2018 World Cup. Here's Giroud, now to Mbappe. Speaking of which, Mbappe tries crossing it into Giroud, who in a sense might have tried the Scorpion, but nonetheless didn't get a touch on that to execute it. Jules Koundé now, one of the newer guys in the squad, picked off by Shaw, who just clears it out on the touchline for France throw-in. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying, it has been interesting to note just the different lineups overall from the knockout stage. Of course, both of these two teams made big runs in 2018. As I said, England made it all the way to the semifinals. I'm trying to find the lineups for each match. So for the semifinal, that was Croatia England. You had it was a 3-5-2 for England. Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, and John Stones were playing. All those 3 guys playing in today's game. Jordan Pickford was still in goal. He's playing in today's game. Kieran Trippier on the bench. He was a starter. He actually scored the goal for England. Dele Alli not in this lineup. Jesse Lingard not in this lineup. Also, there was Ashley Young, who was also not there. Jordan Henderson was playing. He was in the lineup that day. Raheem Sterling, who was in the starting lineup, is on the bench. Harry Kane is up top. So you got five guys who are playing in that semifinal starting today against France, and then two guys that were in that starting lineup on the bench. Of course, that being Kieran Trippier and Raheem Sterling. France too. France has been a little bit more, mainly because of injury. But you think about it, as I said, Olivier Giroud, Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe is still there. N'Golo Kante injured, so he wasn't part of this squad. Same with Paul Pogba, Blaise Matuidi. He also was not in this squad, although he's kind of gotten under old age now. You got Theo Hernandez and Rafael Varane, both of which started that World Cup final against Croatia. They are both playing. So on both sides, you've got five guys who were starting in the last truly competitive. I mean, no disrespect to England in the third place match, but the one where it was a truly an elimination game. Nonetheless, this one sent in. Good chance for France. Unable to get to it was Giroud and Mbappe also in the air. Here's Rabiot, not Hernandez. France continue to be on the attack here. Either way, whatever happens will happen for a reason. And so far, it's been fun. I'll tell you that. Here's Griezmann now. Antoine Griezmann against Bellingham. Bellingham pokes it away. He's trying to argue that Griezmann got the last touch and he's not going to get that plea. Corner kick for the French. Of course, the French have kind of heard the saying, heavy is the head that holds the crown this 2022 World Cup, as just because of making it to the knockout stage, they became the first reigning champ to finish out the group stage since 2006 Brazil. Problem was, 2006 Brazil ended up going out in the knockout, that is in the quarterfinals, to France 3-1. That was, of course, was a interesting squad itself. Of course, led by Zinedine Zidane. Of course, in the final, a lot of people remember his headbutt in the final and kind of infamous headbutt that kind of marred the rest of his kind of career. In sense, at least his performance at that 2006 World Cup. Many people kind of hyper focus on that headbutt. But either way, France was able to redeem themselves in 2018, get that second title. And you got England on the other side trying to get also their second title in history. Of course, you got Argentina and Croatia on the other side. Winner of this game faces Morocco in the semifinals. The first time Africa will be represented in the top four of the World Cup. So now that the case, every confederation except OFC has made it. Nonetheless, Dembele swings it in. Giroud sends it right towards Pickford. 10 minutes through, and that is your first big chance of the day. Luke Shaw there caught out of position. Let's take a look at this. Antoine Griezmann had the ball. Dembele, edge of the box, sent that one in, and Giroud had to kind of dive towards the ground to send it towards goal. But hey, that's what you get. I mean, just inquisitive work there by Giroud, and unfortunately for him, right towards Pickford. Giroud scored a goal, the opening one that is, in the match against Poland. That ended up being goal number 52 for him, making him now the highest goal scorer in French history, surpassing Thierry Henry. Here's Pickford now. Sees it now towards his right, as here's Walker on the ball. Because of this rivalry, it just feels like a couple things. I feel like, no disrespect to Morocco, but they're pulling off shockers left, right, and center of this World Cup. First Belgium, then Spain, now Portugal. But with that said, it feels like the winner of this game is going to advance to the World Cup final. I'm not foreshadowing anything. And again, no disrespect to Morocco. They're a very good team. They're a very pragmatic team. But I just have a gut feeling that, in sense, this is a quarterfinal that feels like a semifinal in ways, knowing how evenly matched these two teams have been, not just now, but throughout soccer history. So that's, I think, one point to make. The other point to make is, I mean, if there was one match that was going to be evenly matched, it would be this, because of those two going at each other over the years. Think about it, this is their eighth matchup in a major tournament. As I noted at the top of the show, Third matchup of the World Cup, England won the other two matches in 1966 and 1982. The last matchup at a major tournament was in 2010. I believe, don't quote me on it, but it ended out in a draw. So overall, England 2-3-2 in that stage. I have to look at that. Yeah. 2 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses. The 2 wins came in the World Cup. The 3 draws and the 2 losses came in the Euros, interestingly enough. Here's Varane. Now to Griezmann. Still cutting now to Rabiot in the middle. Back towards Griezmann. Hernandez. Upamecano. Taking off the ball here is a good pressure by Rice. And here comes Harry Kane the other way. Kane, some space ahead of him, and he'll cut it back here towards Rice, who's making the run forward. Henderson. And once again, the ball will be worked to the other side of the pitch. Here's Harry Maguire now. Out towards Shaw. It's Maguire again. Now to Rice. And once again, back with the center backs we go. Now to right back, Kyle Walker. Henderson. Walker. In the midfield circle, here's Declan Rice. He'll pass it out wide. Not too much in terms of length, that is going forward or back. Kind of just out to the side. There's Walker. Now this one's going forward, not too forward. It's with Henderson. And it's picked off here. This could be trouble as here comes Rabiot the other way. Options both sides. Rabiot takes it himself. Lays it off towards Mbappe. He crosses in back post. Dembele tried getting a touch on it off his crashing run. And he couldn't get there. Might be out for a goal kick, I believe. But great sequence there. Great win back too by Rabiot off of Bukayo Saka. And again, Rabiot could have taken himself, could have taken a shot, decides to pass it out towards Mbappe, and Dembele couldn't get the best touch on it. I believe it might have deflected off of him last. Let me check again. Yes. Try to kind of redirect it, maybe get something off of Shaw. Didn't work, and we're now approaching 15 minutes through this first half. Still 0-0 between England and France. Of course, I mean, when you play a quarterfinal like this, England against France, you need a big stadium overall. And Netherlands Argentina played at Lusail Stadium, more than 88,000 seats in that great butte. Got a lot here at Bayt Stadium, 68,000 overall. After this, as I said, they'll be hosting the semifinal. Winner of this game will be playing Morocco here. Then after that, third place game will be played at Khalifa International Stadium, home of the Qatar national team. And then the final will be at Lusail on Sunday. So, of course, a lot of action. That's one thing, too, with the World Cup is the fact that there were 8 venues overall. Here's Walker now in the attacking third. Now to Saka, who was in the box, now on the right wing. Went down, no foul called. Upamecano with the takeaway. Here he is as he passed it over towards Mbappe. Mbappe up against Henderson. And now he splits it back. Upamecano still going on the balls. It's now fed in towards Mbappe. In the center now, Mbappe plays out towards Dembele. Dembele now, what can he do? Inside the box, gets it to Griezmann. Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni shot! And it's in the net! Oh, what a goal! What a goal for France. And once again, it's their holding midfielder himself, Aurélien Tchouaméni, to make it 1-0 in favor of the French right here in the 17th minute. What a goal. And you knew the holding, for France in general, it was going to be who shows up. And for Tchouaméni, it was definitely the case. Just like that. France up 1-0 against England. Great attack, too. I mean, Mbappe to just get in space. And I was actually surprised Mbappe didn't take the shot from about 25 yards out. But hey, they ended up getting the decent golazo. And it's going to be Antoine Griezmann there with the assist. But Tuchel about 25 yards out, top of the key, takes a touch, and just decides to take his chance. What a goal. What a goal. Probably, I would probably say top 10 goal of this World Cup. Fired in the back of the net. Something you would see at maybe Real Madrid or in the Champions League. Two places that Tuchel is very familiar in playing. Of course, playing with Real Madrid. Ever since Casemiro left, he's been one of the new additions to the squad, at least the starting 11 over there. And Les Bleus are Les flying right now. So now England, once again in a hole. What do? Actually, you think about it, low key. This is the first time England has ever trailed in this World Cup. Did you think about it? You think about it. Beat Iran, beat the United States, or pardon me, drew the United States. That was scoreless. Beat Wales 3-0. England and Iran, when they faced each other, was 6-2, but England was up 4-0 at one point. Here's Saka. Walker. Trying to argue maybe a push off the ball, but nonetheless, here come the English the other way. Saka goes down, free kick for England. And here we go, maybe another chance here. Might be one of those days here at Bayt Stadium. Approaching the 20th minute, France up 1-0 against England. As Bukayo Saka going to the middle. Rabiot was the one called for the foul there. So now a lot of options. Probably going to be Jordan Henderson and Luke Shaw standing over this. Once again, Hugo Lloris readies his wall for action. You're going to have four guys setting up for France. Nobody under the wall. That is a line on the ground. Don't see one here. It's from a decent range, so I wouldn't be surprised if England takes that option. Or they pull a Netherlands. If you didn't watch it, Steven Bergwijn played it through for Wout Weghorst on a free kick. Of course, there's David Beckham up in the booth nervously watching this. Big match for him, big match for England as well. Trying to make it back to the semifinals for their second consecutive World Cup, which I believe has not happened in a while for them. Nonetheless, Shaw and Henderson over the ball. Here he is, Luke Shaw, right towards Lloris. So I'm trying to figure out when was the last time England placed in the top four at the World Cup. Again, Luke Shaw, it was a decent ball in. It actually went around the wall, but then again, Hugo Lloris read it well. Okay, so in history, England has never been top four. They've never been in the top four in back-to-back World Cups. Of course, they were champions in 1966 when they hosted it. Fourth place in 1990, fourth place in 2018. Then I think in 1982, they were part of the group. They were part of the second group stage of the World Cup. But overall, quarterfinals have not been England's cup of tea. You take it as you want to, if that's a pun intended. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 losses. 6 losses in quarterfinals. Only 3 wins at this stage for England. Obviously, not the best for them. Meanwhile, in the midfield, Henderson, now towards Saka on the right. There's Saka, not a Kane. Nifty turn in the middle. Kane in the clear. Saved again. Henderson clips it in back post. Bellingham can't get there, as he would have had a wide open chance had he got ahead to it to potentially make it 1-1. Now there's another foul, and I think it will be going in favor of France. No, it isn't. Throw in taken by England, and now the ref will stop play. Looked like there was either they need to stop just to get everything ready, or just for a France foul, and it's going to be just to make sure the ref was ready. A lot of teams have been playing at a higher pace in this World Cup, and we've seen a lot of stoppages from the refs in that regards. It was the case in Morocco, Portugal earlier today. Also the case in Netherlands, Argentina. Not much in Croatia, Brazil. I don't think so. Maguire. Now to Rice. Declan Rice. Now to Foden. Maguire. Maguire out left looking for Foden. Good header away there by Koundé. Koundé now with Griezmann. And with that, it goes back towards Upamecano. In his box, now towards Hernandez. Mbappe, good one too with Hernandez. Here comes Kylian Mbappe and crew trying to get again another attack going. Anderson cut off the ball there, and it will be an English throw in. Rabiot trying to argue that the three lions rather touched it last. Obviously, Britain. I was going to say Britain, but Britain's also made up of Scotland and Wales, who also, well, Wales were in the World Cup. We're out in the group stage. Actually, we're in the same group as England. And then you had Scotland, who tried to qualify. They were going for one of the spots, actually, with Wales. It was a three-team playoff between Scotland, Ukraine, and Wales. Ukraine won the first battle, but then lost to Wales. Here's Rice. Henderson, or Shaw, rather. Maguire. Now to Stones. Stones was thinking of passing to Maguire, ended up going towards Kane, who checked back. Now with Rice checking in, here's Foden. Back towards Rice. Rice split path through. Decent one there for Kane. Bellingham tried getting a foot on it, rather. Couldn't get it as Lloris boots us forward. 25th minute of play. So far, an entertaining first half. France up 1-0, courtesy of an Aurelien Tchouameni goal from about 25 yards out at the top of the box. And Saka, apparently he was out of play, and at least his feet were, but nonetheless, was still in play, I guess. Nonetheless, here's Kane. Kane goes down. No foul called, says the ref. He says, get up. And Kane also can't believe it, too. Of course, looking for goals. Of course, Harry Kane, if he were to get a goal today, would tie Wayne Rooney for most goals for the Three Lions all time. Of course, that one, I think, currently at, I want to say 52 or 53. I want to say 53, but I probably have it right here. Yeah, it's 53. 53 goals. So now the ref has checked VAR. We're going to have a VAR check here. He hasn't headed to the monitor yet. Still telling the players to push away and not to question him at this moment. Again, still keeping them calm so far. Hasn't been an out of a control game yet. Of course, we say that, and then Netherlands Argentina ends up getting about 17 yellow cards in the match, not including one that was handed towards Lionel Scaloni and one to Walter Samuel, who were both head coaches, or rather, Scaloni head coach for Argentina and Samuel being the assistant head coach. So once again, the penalty check continues here between England and France. Again, whistle's blown. No penalty. So play continues. Honestly, I didn't see much contact there in the box to merit a penalty either way. So I think it was the right call. Stones. Now to Maguire. Bellingham. Now to Shaw. Here's Rice. Back up to Shaw. Those two out in the end. Of course, Luke Shaw with Manchester United. Declan Rice with West Ham United. So here's Mbappe. Mbappe, numbers in front of him, decides to pass back to Hernandez. Tchouameni. Now to Varane. Tchouameni again. Now with Rabiot. Dembele now on the right. France, if you're wondering, is back in English territory. This is going to be one of those games that is going to go back and forth. So even if a team goes up 1-0 or 2-0, I expect them to probably put pedal to the metal. And of course, France is going to do that. We've seen them do it 2018. We've seen them do it in this World Cup against Poland and against Australia, both of which ended out in multi-goal wins. Australia 4-1, Poland 3-1. Back with Maguire. Stones. Once again, the ball continues to be passed all around. Back to Harry Maguire, Manchester United man. Where does he go? Flips the pitch, looking for the Liverpool man, Jordan Henderson. Couldn't control it. Arsenal man, Bukayo Saka's pass was initially blocked away, but earns a throw-in. And he was looking for Harry Kane there. Nonetheless, won back by Saka now. Saka in some space, passes it out towards Henderson. Henderson tried giving it back towards Saka, but it was cleared away. Walker, back towards Rice. Rice in some space, out towards Kane. Kane, deflected shot, saved by Lloris. Again, as I said, took a wicked deflection, was going towards the left, at least Kane's left, and then it was blocked. Couldn't tell who it was. Actually, I take that back. It might have been a direct shot by Harry Kane, and an even better save by Hugo Lloris, who has been tested early on, but he's made some fabulous saves so far. Corner kick now for the English and Phil Foden to take it. Now, once again, the ref will be checking in the middle, make sure everything is okay. No pushy shovies going on. With that, corner kick for Foden, near post, in the area, still going, still a chance, and now Rabiot will clear it here in the 30th minute. Dangerous opportunity, but great work there by Adrien Rabiot to send it back. Bellingham. Now to Shaw. Once again, the ball continues to be passed around, back with Jude Bellingham. Out towards Henderson. Walker. Now it's Stones. Back with Jude Bellingham now on the ball. Out towards Saka. Saka tried passing it to Henderson. Bellingham trying to get the ball, went down. No foul called. It was Hernandez last touched off him, or at least he thought it was last touched off Saka. And the English are still complaining about the foul that was not given. Either way, goal kick towards the French. Sorry about that, dropped my pen. Just looking at the speed on Tuchameni's goal. Max was at 108 kilometers an hour. That's about 65 miles per hour. Just the conversion there from kilometers to miles. Obviously, doing this on Telemundo's broadcast, not Fox's broadcast. They probably have the exact miles per hour. Still, overall, good game. Only one goal, but good game so far. You think about it too. Well, Croatia-Brazil was tied scoreless at half. And I found a stat that was a 26th match of the World Cup in which it was scoreless at the break. The only World Cup that had more scoreless at halftime read lines, 1990. Of course, 1990 infamous for being a rather defensive World Cup, rather low scoring in general. However, since then, it's been pretty good. 1-0, 1-0 Argentina led Netherlands at the break. Today, 1-0 Morocco led Portugal, and so far, France leads 1-0 against England. Harry Kane caught there on the backtrack, and it's going to be Dembele and Rabiot called for the foul. It was Rabiot there on the push. Kane was the one tracking back for England over there. John Stones. Rice. Now to Shaw. Maguire. Stones. Henderson with the check-in. Once again, back with the English. What can they do? Down 1-0. Down for the first time in this World Cup, too, I might add. And Bellingham just gave it back to Mbappe here. Mbappe now, about 30 yards out, still going on the left. Can't elude Walker there, as it's back with Saka. Saka pushed down, and it's a free kick now for England. Griezmann called there for the foul. And there's a look at Gareth Southgate for England. Of course, was on the squad for the 1996 Euro, which I believe England hosted and unfortunately fell on penalties. Ever since that, and ever since winning the World Cup in 1966, England has failed to win a major title. Of course, came close last year, fell to Italy on penalties in the Euro final. So here's Saka, now to Henderson, back towards Saka. Saka now cuts inside, taken down edge of the box, no foul called. Here's Griezmann, now to Giroud. Some numbers coming forward for France, but a lot of numbers coming back for England. Here's Ousmane Dembele. Back to Koundé. About 40, 50 yards out, now to Rabiot. Back with Mbappe, who passes it out towards Hernandez. Theo Hernandez plays it back towards Mbappe. Pretty simple game so far, especially after the Tchouaméni goal that happened, I believe, around the 25th minute. 17th, pardon me. Varane. Dembele plays through for Griezmann. Griezmann now tried going end line on Bellingham. Bellingham able to get this one back and send it forward. So good work there by the young midfielder currently playing at Dortmund. Scored the first goal for England at this World Cup against Iran. Interesting win there, 6-2. England won that matchup. It's Rabiot, Koundé, crunching tackle there by Rice. Once again, back towards Hugo Lloris in goal. So far, shots have mostly been going England's way. 5 shots, 3 of them on target for France. 2 shots, 2 of them on target. Koundé, Dembele now with Griezmann. Griezmann now decides to flip the pitch, going all the way out towards Hernandez. Chested down there. Good control, but Saka pips it away for a French throw-in. Back with Tchouaméni. As it stands right now, it's a go-ahead goal for France in this one. Looking to become the first reigning champion to make it back to the semifinals of the ensuing World Cup since Brazil did it back in 1998. Won the World Cup in 94 and then 98. Made a run all the way to the final before they lost to France. That too, France were the host for that World Cup. Fans on their feet so far. England and France once again bringing a good contingent of fans with them. England, I think, at one point, England actually had the most amount of tickets bought for the World Cup. I think it was England, the U.S., Argentina, and one other country I forget. It wasn't Qatar actually. Here's Henderson. Maguire, Luke Shaw. Shaw pips it up. Koundé got a touch to it, and it goes back towards Varane, who will once again boot it forward. Not too many back passes in this one so far. Walker sends us all the way back to Jordan Pickford here at goal. Here's Stones again. 38th minute of play, about 8 minutes plus stoppage time left to go here from Bayt Stadium. 1-0, France leads courtesy of Aurélien Tchouaméni. And Henderson couldn't get a touch on it. So it goes out to France once again. Looking at the crowd, mostly in favor of England, to my point I made earlier. The fact that the three lions have shown up and showed out, too. One of the most famous countries in the world in terms of soccer. France, too. I mean, almost like in NFL terms, this is almost like Dallas Cowboys against the New York 49ers, or New York Giants or San Francisco 49ers. There you go. That's what happens when you're not thinking, kids. You get ahead of yourself. Here's Mbappe now. Mbappe still dribbling on the ball. People came for England. It was Harry Kane who got the swipe in. With that, France gets another free kick. Kane and Henderson, the ones defending there. And again, Henderson kind of just shrugs it off and says, hey, that's what happens. So once again, back with Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann, the Atletico Madrid man, send this in with his left foot. This one about 35 yards out from goal. Whistle blows. Griezmann plays short. This one going out towards Hernandez. Hernandez crossed into the middle. Shot there by Mbappe. Sails into the English stands. And again, Kylian Mbappe, again with a good chance to potentially make it 2-0. It was a beautifully worked free kick as well. Dembele with the initial pass from Griezmann. And then Hernandez to kind of just center it into the middle. Good way to catch England off guard, but not the best touch there for Kylian Mbappe. Currently leading the Golden Boot race with 5 goals overall. Of course, second is Lionel Messi with 4. We could see those two facing off against each other in the final potentially. But nonetheless, could come down to those two to decide who wins the Golden Boot overall. If not, it comes down to assists, and I believe Lionel Messi has the advantage there. Here's Saka. Saka still going. Now to Foden. Back towards Stones. England once again playing a high line, even with their center backs out there. Here's Henderson again. Henderson. Now to Bellingham off the overlapping run. Or rather, run into the middle. Saka now on the ball. He whips this in back post for Kane. It's cut off there. Good work by Koundé, who is the one tracking back. Shaw. Headed away by Rabiot. Trying to get Dembele on the counter. This one headed back by Stones, and Maguire will boot this forward towards midfield. Either way, Stones will draw the foul there on Dembele. Again, Dembele not liking the call, as it's a free kick for the English. About 4.5 minutes plus stoppage time left in this first half. Still, France 1, England 0. Foden, Bellingham, Shaw, still at midfield. Foden, a little rough of a touch, and it's back towards France. It's Griezmann. Upamecano, the center back, will take his sweet time as Griezmann now sends it out towards the right side for Koundé. Koundé now Dembele. And back towards the middle, this time with Rabiot. Of course, there's some changes overall, and I think I've seen Rabiot play higher up the pitch, almost like a left center mid. Decided to play a little bit back today as the 6 for France. Obviously, a little change there, but kudos to Deschamps for the adjustment. Dembele's cross blocked away, out for a France throw-in. Dembele, Koundé, back to Dembele. To Tchouaméni, and he just decides to flick it back towards Upamecano. He sends it out towards Hernandez here on the left. Out with Rabiot again. Mbappe trying to get a turn. Ref says get up. And again, Mbappe's trying to call that there was a push over there. He's not going to get his plea answered. Probably not even listened to. So again, about 3 minutes plus stoppage time left. Here's Kyle Walker. Good move there off Rabiot. Walker goes down, and once again, a free kick again. Yellow card given for Antoine Griezmann on the tackle. Again, not a bad tackle, knowing that it's in transition, but again, knowing that there were other Frenchmen in the area, maybe not the best option there for Griezmann going in on Walker. But nonetheless, yellow card shown. First yellow card of the match. Now here's Stones. Back in the center circle. Out towards Maguire on the left side. Shaw. Bellingham. Bellingham again. Now to Rice. Rice with some space ahead of him, still going, and then lost it there. Dembele with the tackle. Dembele now, able on the attack, trying to get past Bellingham, look for options, still going with the ball somehow. And that will settle it for a while. Tuchameni, Rabiot. Kunde, back with Tuchameni. Rafael Varane, of course, going up against his Manchester United teammates and Maguire and Shaw today on the pitch. Of course, Man United, maybe not as good as England and France in this World Cup, but that's a story for another day. Back here at All Bayt, 45th minute of play, about a minute and stoppage time left in this first half. England down 1-0, and presumably that would be the first time in a while, first time at this World Cup at least, that England would be down at the half, believe it or not. Nonetheless, here's Bellingham on the left, crosses it in low, cleared away there. Good work there too by Varane. Trying to figure out when's the last time England was down at the half. And they've drawn and they've lost some games, but those game deciders were in the second half. Believe, yes, the last time they were down was against Hungary. This was in a Nations League group stage match. Team ended up losing 4-0 in that one. Roland Schleigo ended up giving Hungary the lead 4-0 going into the break. Ended up extending that to 3-0. John Stones got sent off with a red card in that match. 45 minutes through, and now it's time for stoppage time. 4 minutes of it coming up right here from Alcor. Henderson, once again, back with Stones. It's Maguire. Maguire clips it over to the right for Saka. Good ball too. Saka able to control it as well. As Bukayo Saka looks for options, gets Walker, who's made the run. Now with Kane. Kane back out towards Bukayo Saka. Tottenham and Arsenal guys connecting there. Stones back with Maguire. Maguire in some space. Now it's Saka. Saka off the turn. Saka still going and eventually nicked away there with about 4 Frenchmen in that area. Back out towards Le Bleu, and here's Mbappe now on the wing. Tuchameni pushed in the back. No foul. Interestingly enough, that's an interesting no call there. Nonetheless, Griezmann. And with that, it goes back towards Varane. Rafael Varane now to Adrien Rabiot. Hernandez, Mbappe. Back with Upamecano. There's Varane back in the defensive half for the French. Kind of settled themselves down, but nonetheless, still looking for options here as we're halfway through the stoppage time period. About 2 minutes left here before the halftime whistle blows. Back with Pickford. Now, once again, back with the English as your Stones. Like I said, this World Cup, they have not trailed. It's been a while in a major tournament in which they trailed as well, at least at the World Cup. I'd have to look at England at the World Cup over time, but it's been a while, I think. I swear it's been a while. Of course, lost to Croatia, lost to Belgium too in that matchup. Nonetheless, this one played through over the top and unable to find. I think it was either Shaw or Henderson. I think it was Shaw. Kunde headed it out, and I think it will be a English corner kick. Yes, indeed, that will happen. So once again, going towards the corner flag. Another big option there. Phil Foden to take this one on the far side of the pitch. Once again, the ref will be in the middle to make sure there's no ruckus there in the middle. Of course, we've seen that a lot. Nonetheless, Foden swings this one into the box. Maguire tried getting ahead to it. A little too far. Was shaved off there by Hernandez. Speaking of Hernandez, shielding the ball away from Saka. Good work to clear that out. Only as far as Upamecano. A Frenchman is down, and now the whistle will be blown to stop play. And it is Theo Hernandez, the right back, writhing in some pain, holding his right ankle. And again, Didier Deschamps, not liking the call there for the French. Could have done better. Could have done better. That's probably what he's saying. That is not my words. Yeah, so it was a little scrape there off Bellingham. Didn't appear that there was anything major per se with that leg. Nonetheless, 4 minutes through, probably to have a few more kicks, and then the whistle will blow for halftime. And we're going to have a drop ball here on France's side of the pitch. Now I don't know what's exactly happening, but the ref's going to drop the ball either way. Probably send it back either towards goal or towards the opposite side. And Walker will just play it back towards Stones and Maguire. That's the halftime whistle here at Bayt Stadium in Alcor, Qatar. France up 1-0 against England, and that man right there, Aurelien Tchouameni, had the goal in the 17th minute. Harry Kane and crew looking to avenge a lot of losses to France. Of course, not much over time, but nonetheless, trying to pull off a comeback at the World Cup as they trail at halftime for the first time in this tournament. I'll be back in a few minutes, and then I'll be back for the second half right here on YouTube. Stick around, folks. You're watching my live streams of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. All right, sorry about that, guys. Half of this one, it's going to be France up 1-0 against England. So 1-0 against England, about 25 seconds into the second half. I'm Hearson Husson. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon, final quarterfinal of this World Cup. Of course, France got the score started in the 17th minute, courtesy of Aurelien Tchouameni. Ever since then, it's been England on the attack with the majority of the chances. Speaking of which, here's Jude Bellingham going forward, taken down here. No foul called as Foden sends it in low, cleared away there by Upamecano. And now a yellow card will probably be issued there for the tackle on Bellingham, I would guess. And yes, indeed, the card has come out. Ousmane Dembele booked there for the yellow card. So once again, Dembele on a yellow, Griezmann on a yellow. Going into this game, France only had 2 yellow cards overall. They've already matched it today. England, with 0 yellow cards today, 0 yellow cards in the tournament. Meanwhile, this header is poked away. Bellingham has a shot. That's saved. Oh my word. Jude Bellingham with an absolute rocket. And Hugo Lloris once again with an absolute wonderful save. Take a look at this. Jude Bellingham slicing this one from 20 yards out and punching this up in the air. Hugo Lloris. Again, Bellingham probably just wondering what could have been had that got in. Tchouameni already with the golazo. He could have added to the score sheet there. Nonetheless, back with another corner kick, this time with Phil Foden. He'll whip this one, back post. Maguire heads it down, still there, and it's caught by Lloris. He was looking for Stones, who was also there to potentially flick it in. And nonetheless, Hugo Lloris with another comfortable save. Comfortable save there, and yeah, could have gone either way. How about this too? Shaw and then Bellingham with an absolute rocket there, and Hugo Lloris with an even better save. Just Declan Rice on the ball. Walker, not a Saka. Back with Harry Maguire. And Antoine Griezmann, Ousmane Dembele have picked up a yellow. Saw a red card earlier today with Walid Chedira of Morocco. Third yellow card, or third red card of this tournament. As Dembele plays it now towards Upamecano. Henderson almost took it away. Upamecano still going, gets pushed there by Saka, and it's a free kick for the French. Again, you think about it, they're up 1-0, but this is going to be a much, much more open game than what we've seen in the other World Cups. Obviously, with Brazil, they decided to kind of play a little back after the Croatia, and still it was kind of a matter of testing out the defense as Brazil was on the attack for a majority of the match. Then they got the go-ahead, and then Croatia equalized. Argentina, kind of the same deal, but afterwards they started settling back. Mbappe fouled there. Henderson cannot believe the call, especially knowing the types of other calls, and rather in that case, no calls that have been put up today. And Henderson, once again, as I said, Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool man, going up against Mbappe of PSG. So again, 50th minute, about 41 minutes plus stoppage time left to go in this one. If it's still tied, we go to 30 minutes of extra time. If it's still tied after that, penalty kicks to decide who faces Morocco in the semifinals. That one will be Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That one also at Bayt Stadium. And once again, will be right here on YouTube. Here's Griezmann, whips one into the box, trying to find Rabiot, who couldn't head it away and head it towards goal in that manner. Here's Koundé. Hernandez plays back towards Hugo Lloris. Lloris making his 143rd cap today for the French national team. Now makes him the most capped individual to ever play for the French national team. Before that was Lilian Thuram, who had 142 caps. So Lloris tied Thuram with starting the match against Poland, and then eventually starting this match breaks it. So congratulations to Hugo Lloris, most capped man in French history playing for Les Bleus. And in that case, too, the captain. So well deserved for sure. Here's Shaw. Maguire. Now to Stones. Still at the center circle, now out on the wing here for Jordan Henderson. Saka. Now back to Henderson once again, round and round. The ball goes. England with majority of the possession here, trying to get something going overall. England has been pretty well keeping possession, 65% on average. That's tied for first amongst teams still in the competition as Henderson pips forward for Saka. Saka in some danger, plays it across, cleared away by Upamecano. Long shot in by Walker, I believe. Again, that one also blocked as well. Nonetheless, here's Mbappe now on the counterattack, trying to play through Giroud. Many of the Englishmen saying he was offside, and indeed might have been. No whistle had been blown. Here's Saka again. End-to-end action here at Bayt Stadium. Saka, now with Bellingham, back to Saka. Saka taken down in the box. Penalty for England. And it's again Tuchameni who had the swipe there on Saka. He went down. And now it's maybe a chance for the Brits, or the Englishmen rather, to tie this one up. I would guess who would be taking it. I would guess Harry Kane, knowing his type of stature, especially in the middle of the pitch. As I noted earlier, a goal today would tie him with Wayne Rooney for most goals scored by an Englishman for the Three Lions. And rightfully so, it is Kane who will be taking the penalty here. Big moment. Hugo Lloris, of course, in the goal between the sticks for the French. The English supporters right behind Lloris, as he'll now get a talking to from the ref to make sure he keeps at least 1 foot on the line. For the most part, Kane's penalties have gone to his left. Could change today, or it could be going to the other side. So either way, Lloris ready's there. Kane standing 12 yards away. 53rd minute here from Bayt Stadium. Kane, once again, standing over the ball. This to equalize the match. This to give Harry Kane the tie in terms of all-time goal scorer with England. And now with that, the ball it seemed to roll off the tee per se, roll off the spot. So once again, Kane will reset. Nonetheless, the objective remains the same. This to tie the match. Whistle blows. Kane puts it away in the back of the net. Goal for England. Hugo Lloris dove to his left. Kane went to his right and fires it into the corner. It's England 1, France 1 right here in the 54th minute. Of course, it's a great goal too, as I said. 53rd goal for Harry Kane. And that means he is now tied with Wayne Rooney for all-time goal scorer for England. One more today, and he breaks the record. One more this World Cup, and he breaks the record, for all you know. Knowing how England is. Nonetheless, back to a tie game here between England and France. And the Three Lions fans are fired up at that one. So is Gareth Southgate. So once again, we're back to square one at Bayt Stadium. England down 1-0 the break, able to take it back off a Harry Kane penalty kick. Nonetheless, here comes Adrian Rabiot. Save there. Great save, too, by Pickford. Rabiot smells some blood in the water, edge of the box, decides to rip a shot from 18 yards out, and Pickford is already yelling at his defenders, saying, "What in the world were you doing there?" Nonetheless, here comes England the other side. Kane down the left-hand side, couldn't keep it in play there, out for a France throw-in. And again, boy, what a chance. Rabiot decided to take it first time, too. We've seen some good goals overall in this one so far. Good goals, good plays from both sides. It's what you expect out of a World Cup quarterfinal game. Rice, Bellingham, now back towards Rice. Now with Foden, what does he do? Back towards Kane. Kane taken down, no foul called, and it's given right back towards the French. Mbappe now on the ball, trying to get past Walker. Here's Mbappe again. Oh, look at that speed. Look at that speed. Mbappe now end line crosses in. Giroud can't get there. Dembele took a long touch and couldn't steer it on frame in that regards. Griezmann sent it back in. That one picked off easily by Henderson, who will just boot this high up in the air. Bellingham now plays this out towards Foden on the left. Can he get there? No, he can't. But how about that? Just like that, one bad mispass, and then the ball's at the feet of Kylian Mbappe, who probably put Kyle Walker on the treadmill there in that one. And I mean, rather unfortunate too. Ousmane Dembele, if he readies his feet right, could have squared it away for goal number 2. Koundé, now Tuchameni. Upamecano, now towards Hernandez. 57 minutes of play here. Of course, a lot of time left. About 32 minutes plus stoppage time. 32 minutes plus stoppage time. If either team were to get a go ahead here, maybe win it potentially. I figured this was going to be one of those games where it was going to be back and forth and it was going to be high scoring. I think I predicted France to win either 3-2 or potentially one of the teams to win this on penalty kicks. So, as I expected, was an evenly matched game. It's been evenly matched so far in terms of chances. Overall, I'd have to check on how that looks overall. But stat wise, mostly in favor of England in terms of shots. 9 shots, 6 of them on target for France. 4 shots, 3 of them on target. So that one headed there by Rabiot out. For now, another Jordan Pickford goal kick. And now it was the French who were making the noise. Now it's the English. Harry Kane, like I said, now the co-leader of most goals for England. Again, there's Didier Deschamps, longtime captain of the French national team, now the head coach. You look at it too. I was thinking about the idea of players and coaches, and obviously Deschamps being the second player in World Cup history to win it as a player and then further win it as a coach, and that too when he was a player, win it as a captain. Obviously, in some interesting territory. Franz Beckenbauer was the other guy who did it. Obviously, didn't coach in 1974, or pardon me, didn't coach in 1994 after he led Germany to a World Cup title in 1990. That year, though, Germany ended up losing in the quarterfinals. Don't forget, I think it was either Hungary or Bulgaria. I think it was Bulgaria, if you were to ask me. But still, overall, a pretty good showing there by the Germans in 1990, especially after the heartbreaks of 1986 of losing in the final and then 94 going to the quarterfinals. So, as we've seen throughout the past World Cups, on paper, not bad. And then you look at some other ones, of course, for Brazil, there was someone as well. Played with Pele, won a World Cup in 58 and 62 with him. 66, Brazil was out in the group stage. Then ended up coaching the team in 1970, and then 74, Brazil unfortunately did not win. I believe they ended up in the top 4. Yes, 4th place that year, lost to Poland in the 3rd place game. Nonetheless, here's Saka now. Saka going forward. His shot saved once again by Hugo Lloris, who has been tested today so far. That is his 7th shot on target he has faced in this one. It's only allowed a penalty, so overall, not too bad. Here's Lloris now. About 30 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. This one headed away by Stones only as far as Griezmann. Gets it towards Mbappe. Mbappe now, pressure there, gets it out towards Dembele. Dembele cuts inside. Dembele's shot blocked away there by Stones, out for French throw-in on the right-hand side. Dembele up against Bellingham. Boy, he's toying with Bellingham right now. Now gets it out towards Mbappe again. Mbappe tried playing through towards Rabiot, didn't work. And here's Bellingham now on the attack. What can he do? Tried playing out towards Foden. He went down. No foul called as it goes out towards Phil Foden on the left. And with that, nobody's there to help him. He'll circle back right towards Bellingham. 35 yards out. Here's Henderson. Now out towards Saka. Here's Bukayo Saka again. Saka out to Kane. Kane now cuts inside. Kane rips a shot, and that one once again saved by Lloris. Once again, motto stays the same. Hugo Lloris showing up in the big moments for sure. Rafael Varane now on the ball. Tchouaméni still in the midfield, now moving, or pardon me, the French area, now moving kind of towards England area. So here's Koundé now. Koundé had some space, decides to pass it out towards Dembele. Dembele tried getting out with Shaw, and Shaw clears it away. Foden cuts inside. Still Foden, still going. He's got past three Frenchmen. Griezmann takes him down. And now they're going to call the foul earlier on before Griezmann had his takedown. Once again, the ref trying to calm down the opponents, including Harry Maguire. Of course, it's an interesting decision, too, with Griezmann already on a yellow here. Obviously, one more yellow, and he is sent off. It's interesting where they'll call. Maybe have Tchouaméni, maybe? Although Tchouaméni has a lot of penalty, no foul, no yellow card. So 63rd minute of play, and it's Maguire now on the ball for England. Redis steps up. Most of the players behind him, except for Olivier Giroud, the French striker, and also there John Stones. And Maguire out towards Foden, wins the header, but Varane gets the second one back. Kane pips it, was trying to go towards either Bellingham or Shaw. Either way, it's back with the French. Griezmann trying to cause a counter, poked away by Rice, and it's out for a French throw-in. Once again, Henderson bringing some pressure, and it's going to be a free kick for France. Tchouaméni, the man pressured there. Rabiot, Hernandez, Dembele now. Now towards Koundé on the right. Back towards Dembele, playing a little more center, but nonetheless, his pip looking for Koundé goes out for another England goal kick. So with that, we have now reached 64 minutes through this match, 65th minute. In other words, 25 minutes plus 26 minutes rather, plus stoppage time left in the second half. Of course, these two have had quite a history with each other. Of course, the last time these two teams met was back in 2017 for a friendly, and it was France that ended up winning it 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, France won 3-2. That too, France that was a year out from almost winning the Euro on their home turf if it wasn't for Eder and Portugal. Meanwhile, Saka shoved down, no foul called. Back with Tchouaméni, the goal scorer for France. This time he's strangled, free kick taken quickly by the French back towards Griezmann. Now Tchouaméni. Ref has to get out of the way as it's now towards Mbappe on the left. Tchouaméni clips this in, looking for Giroud, and Giroud can't get there. Again, Pickford trying to yell. I don't know what he was yelling at or about, but nonetheless, if it was his defenders, definitely giving them an earful. Olivier Giroud is also down, holding his knee. He's trying to move his knee to try to at least get something out of it, see how it's doing. So it looked like, I mean, the thing, oh, I see what happened. So he was trying to get the ball with his left foot and, in the sense, almost skinned his right knee on the grass. So that's probably what he's trying to at least dust off over there. Yeah, I got it myself. Quite painful. Looks like Giroud will be okay. So, nonetheless, 66th minute of play. Pickford once again to boot this forward. Now to Hernandez. Hernandez. Thought it was looking for Giroud, and I think he was caught up there. Once again, France has kind of led to doing this over time, and the game has started to settle into how many people thought, at least the score sheet thought, and the stats sheet thought this would go. As it's currently England with 57% of the possession, France with only 43, 8 shots on goal for England. Overall, not a bad day for Hugo Lloris, already making 7 saves there. Here's Pickford. He's going to boot this all the way back towards French territory, all the way back to the other goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Of course, those two have been in the league for a while, both of them playing in the Premier League. Lloris with Tottenham and Pickford with Everton. It's Koundé, Griezmann. And Griezmann with some open space. What does he do? Decides to play it out. He's looking for Hernandez. Somehow skips out there, and now it's back towards Mbappe. It's Hernandez again. Back with Mbappe. Saka on his face. Mbappe clips this out. Dembele, rough first touch as it was actually played more into the middle of the box. Giroud couldn't get there. Once again, the pressure continues as Stones clears it out, or Maguire rather, for a French throw-in. Upamecano, Rabiot, and Hernandez couldn't get there. Rolls out, goal kick. Pickford with the goal kick here. 69th minute of play from Bayt Stadium in Alcor. More than 68,000 on tap to witness this great spectacle between France and England. This, as I said earlier, a lot of matches between these two sides. This one being their 32nd. And think about it too, it's a great stadium as well, also known as the House Stadium, as kind of translated there from Arabic. Think about it, it's been there. It's opened up in time for the World Cup. 68,000 or so. Post World Cup, it will be scaled down to 32,000, as will be the case with many other stadiums throughout Qatar. Nonetheless, it's good to see that Qatar is keeping those stadiums available. I mean, it was the case in Brazil where some of the stadiums they had, including like Manaus, they actually ended up tearing it down and making some different facilities over there. Nonetheless, free kick for England. Henderson whips this one into the box. Maguire just sends it wide. Again, a good chance there for the Manchester United man, trying to give England the lead here in the 70th minute. Glancing header, but just rolls wide. And again, you have to give credit. Looks like Maguire was not offside. Kane was. So had Kane been the one to take it, we would have been talking offside. But Harry Maguire was not, just skips wide. Actually might have glazed off the post in that case as well. So 70 minutes through, 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. Walker, Stones, Saka, now to Kane, who's brought it down. Kane trying to play through for Saka. Good work there by Hernandez to track back towards Lloris. Just headed there by, I think it was Rabiot. Here's Rice again. Clips us out towards the left. Foden, now down to Shaw in the box. Cut away there by Koundé. And Foden couldn't get the ball, whether that be offside or not recognizing it. Nonetheless, back with the English. Stones. Walker. Now to Maguire. Kane. Now to Shaw. Shaw. Still going on the left-hand side, driven in low, and it's just put wide there. Bukayo Saka was the one making the dashing run on the right-hand side. Just couldn't put it on frame there, and it was good work by Hernandez to stay toe-to-toe with him. Might have gotten a touch there, causing it to go wide. And let's see. I think it was Saka with the last touch. I don't think Hernandez got a touch there. 72nd minute of play, still 1-1 between England and France. And once again, Lloris will send this forward. This one played high up in the air. Griezmann able to get it. And now they're going to call offside. So once again, 72 minutes. Tick, tick, tick. The clock goes. Maybe closer towards extra time. It looks like right now. Let's take a look at this. Harry Maguire with a great chance just a few moments ago. Just skipped off the post. No save there by Lloris needed, but he was diving to the right. So again, Pickford sends it back, and this time a foul as Hernandez went down. Saka, the guilty party there. So once again, end-to-end action. It feels like the ball's going either from an attack on the ground from one side to the other, or it's just going back and forth. Ball's just being booted from one side of the field to the other. Nonetheless, still some sort of attack from both sides overall. However, over the past few minutes, it has been England with majority of those chances. It's Maguire out towards Shaw. Now with Bellingham. Jude Bellingham out towards Luke Shaw again. Shaw's cross, back post, headed away by Hernandez, and Henderson will give chase to it as it goes out for an England throw-in. Out towards Bellingham again. Bellingham taken down edge of the box. No foul called. And again, Bellingham's asking why. How in the world was that not a penalty? You think about another opportunity for Harry Kane to maybe break Wayne Rooney's record. To Chaniemi. Rice. Griezmann. Dembele couldn't control it there. Had a lot of sauce, and it showed there. A lot of changes being warmed up. One of them for England, Mason Mount, who was starting earlier in this World Cup, eventually moved to the bench in favor of some other options. You have two guys there. I mean, you have Raheem Sterling, you have Mason Mount, both of which play for Chelsea. Jude Bellingham, there's a look there. Of course, the only guy on this squad who does not play in England, currently playing with Borussia Dortmund in Germany. Of course, there's a lot of guys on the squad from a lot of different competitions. That is with England, but also with France as well. Here's Dembele, the Barca man, cuts inside, whips it in a little too far and couldn't find Rabiot there. Tuchameni, back to Rabiot. Hernandez, good ball, and Giroud can't steer it on frame. And again, the chances keep on coming for the French. Actually, their first chance in a while, I should say, as we're now 75 minutes through this match, 15 minutes plus stoppage time left. Again, it was actually a good run there by Giroud. Actually got pushed by Luke Shaw earlier. Could have been a penalty either way. Could have been a penalty with Bellingham. Could have been a penalty with Giroud there. on either side, but both sides, no foul, no call. Maguire going forward. Out towards Shaw. Now towards Bellingham. Bellingham, work on the outside now. Up against Kunde. Gets it to Shaw. Shaw's cross, headed away there by Hernandez. Only as far as Mbappe. Mbappe playing with Hernandez, who was tripped up there, but nonetheless, it was a clean tackle. Now Hernandez tried going 1-2. Now cut to the inside. Get it towards Tuchameni. Griezmann. Now for Rabiot. Mbappe again up against Saka. Still going now with Rabiot in the area. Clips this in. Looking for Dembele. Cross. Giroud saved by Pickford. Great work sequence. And Rabiot with the cross. Dembele with the initial header. And Giroud again. I mean, this is a guy that hit a scissor kick goal, although it did not count against Poland. Almost shut off the great work there. But Pickford with another parry. Again, shouting at his defender, saying, "Where in the world were you guys?" So with that, it's back with France, another corner kick to be swung in. Griezmann, left-footed, headed away. Goes out towards Koundé, plays it out towards Hernandez on the left, who sends it back out towards Griezmann. Griezmann, take two, header, and it's in the net! Goal for France! Olivier Giroud once again scores for Les Bleus. It's a great goal, great ball in by Antoine Griezmann, and once again, the number 9, as shown by his shirt, finds it in the back of the net. 53rd goal for him, and it's France 2, England 1 right here in the 78th minute. And you can see the joy on his face. It's crazy to think, and you think about it too, obviously kind of putting his name in the Golden Boot race alongside his teammate Kylian Mbappe. But when you look at this goal, obviously a great build-up overall. You see the passion and joy on his face. Obviously not supposed to start in this World Cup, but because Karim Benzema, the Ballon d'Or winner, went down with a thigh injury, he was the man subject to be the number 9 for this side for France. How about that? 4th goal in Qatar actually got deflected off of stones, which might have caused the goal to happen. Didier Deschamps and crew also ecstatic. 2-1, and as it stands, France is on to face Morocco in the knockout. That is, if it stands. Again, I got in trouble for playing commentator's curse on Saturday or yesterday rather, with Netherlands, Argentina. Pure joy on that man's face. 35 years old, he's won a World Cup with his side, and yet still putting the effort going forward. How about that? That, my friends, is someone who loves playing at the stage. 36 years old, actually. In his last World Cup, most likely. Could be his last major tournament as well. Big goal for France. This one booted forward by Pickford. Now, the ball is once again in England's court. Giroud now fell down, and it's once again not going to be a free kick. Walker sends it back towards France. A couple changes were made for England. First of the match, as Henderson and Saka head off, and it's who I expected earlier. Mason Mount and Raheem Sterling now in the 2 Chelsea boys trying to get an equalizer here for England. Like I said, in their history, they have never been to the semifinals in back-to-back World Cups. Trying to change it today. Bellingham into the middle, push there, right in the middle. And once again, England begging for a penalty kick. Mason Mount, the target there, as it was Bellingham with the initial effort to loft the ball into the box. One change for France is Ousmane Dembele is off, checking in a spot, Kingsley Coman. So there, we might see now a little bit of Bundesliga in action. Kingsley Coman playing with Bayern Munich, Jude Bellingham playing with Borussia Dortmund. Let's take a look at this. I think Hernandez is the culprit of a penalty, if you ask me. And Southgate agrees. Easily pushed there in the back. And now I think the ref's going to be reviewing for a possible penalty. So again, the two VAR checks in this one, although the ref didn't go to the monitor on the first one, could be big overall. We got a lot of guys there, and now the ref will check. Of course, Mason Mount was the guy to go down in the box, and right here in the 81st minute, 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining, a big call for the Three Lions. I think, in my opinion, the question becomes, I mean, it's obviously a reckless challenge there. And I think whether or not contact was kind of leaned into by Mount, it was a little vicious. And I think that was also a passable ball potentially with Mount. He could have gotten up to rise up for it. At the very least, was the ball attainable? Obviously, might be a little tough. Here's the verdict from the ref. Penalty for England. Mount with a little fist pump there. So is the case with the English fans in the stands. So once again, foul called there on Hernandez. And with that, probably goes back towards England. Ball goes back towards England. Now I don't know what's happening. I think they're asking whether or not it's a yellow card for Hernandez. Has not picked up a yellow card in this one today, and now he will get it. Third yellow card of the day for France, a team that came into this match only posting 2 overall, was tied for second least, both in terms of totals, that is all 32 teams, but also the ones remaining. Interestingly enough, the one team that has 0 yellow cards, England. So it seems like England, regardless of the results today and regardless of the result in this World Cup, will most likely get the fair play award. That is, who knows? Maybe they go into like a Netherlands, Argentina, and there's like 17 yellow cards in the match. I don't know. But either way, Theo Hernandez called for the foul there on Mason Mount. And now, chance here for Harry Kane. 1 to equalize the match, and 2 to take Wayne Rooney's record for most goals for the Three Lions. What a match this has been so far. Kind of end-to-end action. England was down 1-0 to break, able to get an equalizer off a penalty taken by Harry Kane. The first time he went to his left, that is Kane's left, and Lloris went to Kane's right. Does he go there the second time, or does he change it up here? Nonetheless, 84th minute, this to equalize the match, this to give Kane the all-time leading goal scorer record for Three Lions history. Whistle is blown. Here he is. Harry Kane skies it. Oh my word. What a miss there by Harry Kane. And the Bleu players have gone over to hype up Hugo Lloris. A moment squandered. Equalizer at the doorstep, and Harry Kane grazes it over the bar. What a chance missed. Another change coming for England as the tears start to well up in the fans in the stands. I don't know. Did Lloris get? Lloris didn't get a touch on it. That's a straight up sky by Kane. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Looks like there'll be one more change. Another change that is coming on. Marcus Rashford now in the game. I would expect for Phil Foden, and indeed that will be the man heading off. Marcus Rashford, 3 goals rather in this World Cup. Again in the Golden Boot race, of course. Mbappe in first with 5, Messi in second with 4. Now Kane also with 4, I believe. But overall, Golden Boot's been pretty big. I'll tell you that. Actually, Kane now. Pardon me. Harry Kane still just adds to his regular total. Harry Kane, that is, too, the Golden Boot winner of 2018. Mbappe with 5 goals so far. Messi with 4. We could see those two facing off in the final. Still remains France 2, England 1. 5 minutes plus stoppage time left. Harry Kane just got a penalty for England. A rare botch, especially for the Three Lions. And now a foul. Late whistle called on Rashford and Bellingham. Bellingham just in disbelief of the call. Koundé the man taken down. And Varane will let go of this ball. Once again, the clock continues to tick down here. Seconds continue to tick down. England needs a goal if they are to keep their World Cup hopes alive. If football is to have a chance of coming home. Think about it, their women's Euro team won that nonetheless. That was in the box. Mbappe almost got a swig of that. And once again, back with England, back with Walker. He was tripped up there. And once again, a free kick for England. Giroud called there for the foul. Let's take a look at that. Harry Kane, shortish run up, but then again, skies it into the stands. That is a ball that if I was a Three Lions fan, I would not want to touch. That one should have been in the back of the net. Stones, now to Walker. Mount taken down, free kick England. And once again, chaos continues to ensue here from Bayt Stadium. Once again with Mason Mount here on the right. Once again, here's Mount clipping this out in towards the middle. Maguire with the initial head. Bellingham couldn't get there. Once again, Maguire goes down. No foul called. A lot of people going to ground, but nonetheless, the fouls have been less, much less than those who have gone to ground. Of course, the winner of this one heads to the semifinals, heading to the top four. Of course, as I talked about earlier, England has never been in the top four in back-to-back World Cups. I believe that may be the case for France as well. Don't quote me on it. Here's Mount now in the area. Mount rips a shot, and that one once again goes into the bleachers. Again, I think Mount let the ball roll for a while, lasered it, but to the fans in the stands rather than towards Lloris. So I'm looking at France. The last time they were ever in the top four back-to-back World Cups, you have to go back towards 1982 and 1986, in which they were fourth place in 82, third place in 86. Didn't qualify in 1990 and 1994, but after that, they were champions in 98. They had a pretty decent run, come to think about it. In 4 of 5 World Cup appearances, they were in the top four and kind of just swept it too. Champions in 98, runner ups in 2006, third place in 1986, fourth place in 1982, but never going back to back. And of course, France trying to be the first team since Pele and Brazil did it in 58 and 62 to repeat as World Cup champs. Harry Maguire, meanwhile, picked up a yellow card. First yellow card of the tournament for England, believe it or not. Nonetheless, 90th minute of play, just a mere seconds plus stoppage time, which will be announced in a few moments left in this one. As it stands, France has a date with Morocco on Wednesday. Here's Mbappe now, was in the area, couldn't work it in towards goal. Here's Walker now. Walker sends it back. It's kept in play by Sterling. And Sterling once again fights for the ball against Mbappe. Still in play, still in bounds. Taken off by Rabiot and Mbappe. Rabiot went down. Free kick for the French. And with that, 90 minutes have passed here from Bayt Stadium. Still France 1, England 2. 8 minutes. 8 minutes of stoppage time left in this one. Of course, it was Argentina that kind of suffered the equalizer late in the match yesterday that caused the game to go to extra times and then eventually penalties. That one too in the 11th minute. 11th minute. Can you believe that, folks? Of stoppage time. Netherlands equalized. Nonetheless, France in the attack potentially to put this one on ice. So here's Antoine Griezmann now. Griezmann on the ball, whips it into the box, headed away there. It's a front-facing header there for the English. I think it was Rashford there on the defense. Upamecano back towards Hernandez in French territory, sent back out towards Griezmann, flicking ball over towards Mbappe. Now, what does Mbappe do? Scored in stoppage time against Poland. This time, puts Walker, at least he tries to put him on a swivel. Try to get past Sterling, who tracked back and collected it for England. Here's Rice now going forward. It's Walker. Another big boot forward. Kane can't reach it. Here's Rashford now. Back out to Kane, and here comes England the other way. Luke Shaw on the left, up against Koundé. Shaw, back post. Lloris tried to get a touch to it. Did he? I don't know. I think he did. And indeed he did. So corner kick coming for England now. We're about 100 seconds into stoppage time. Again, thanks for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. This one, once again, as we've seen in all of the matches in this quarterfinals, coming down to the wire. Here's Shaw. Whips this one well into the box, headed away by Upamecano. Sterling. Back towards Kyle Walker. Last field player back for England. All the center backs remain forward for them. Sterling will check back. Or Bellingham, rather. Bellingham. Out towards Shaw again. Sterling. He'll whip this one into the box. This time it's caught by Lloris. And with that, of course, Harry Maguire once again calling for a penalty. England's already had 2 today. Third one, maybe third time's a charm. Converted the first one by Harry Kane, but Kane could not replicate his ideals in the second one as he skied it. And that, once again, Lloris with a great catch in midair. So once again, here's France going the other way, cut out there by Rice. About 5 minutes left to go in stoppage time. Once again, ball goes towards France. It's going to be Koundé to take the throw in here. Koundé heads it up by Shaw, back towards Maguire. And here come the three lines. If they can come roaring back against Les Bleus. Kyle Walker decides to keep it himself. Now gets out towards Sterling on the right flank. Sterling pips it, looking for Mount, headed away there by Hernandez. Hernandez still pressured, still able to keep the ball, and he'll clear this up the pitch. Stones will chest it down. Will keep this one to himself. Won't give it back towards Pickford. Rice. Now towards Maguire again. Rashford had a chance now with Bellingham. Bellingham out towards Sterling. Sterling now in line, crosses this one in, back post. Shaw gets his head to it, headed out there by Koundé. Once again, out with Maguire. Now to Shaw on the left. Shaw crossed into the box, caught there by Lloris. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in stoppage time, and as the seconds dwindle, it's going to be more full force for the French fans in the stands, trying to send their longtime rival home from Qatar without football in their hands. Giroud, now to Mbappe. Either way, a collision there with John Stones, who went down, and the ref will pause play because of it. Again, it was Giroud and Stones going at it. I don't know what exactly happened with Stones, but Looked like he might have hurt something on his right leg. Continues to be down in pain. At this moment, we still have about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in stoppage time. Even if it were to take a bunch, I would still guess about 3 minutes of stoppage time would still be played in this one. Nonetheless, it's kind of a tale of two sides of the stadium. French jumping up and down, English not so much. A lot of them trying to hold back tears right now as well. Once again, Walker remains down on the pit, or pardon me, Stones remains down. It looks like England will make another change. This will be their fourth change, and unless they do so again or it goes to extra time, or regardless, this will probably be their final change of at least regulation. The Stones will probably be headed off. Grealish has gotten his kit on. He might be coming into the match sometime soon. Add a little attacking power to this. And looks like John Stones will be heading off in that regards. At least he'll head off towards the sideline. But it looks like England might need all hands on deck if they are to get something here. Haven't seen Grealish come in yet. Haven't seen anything yet. And now I think the ref will point towards the touchline. And now we'll see the change. So Jack Grealish, the Manchester City guy, will come in for his Manchester City teammate, John Stones. So Stones out, Grealish in, and he'll be playing a little higher up the pitch, obviously, to help out the attackers. Back with Upamecano. Now to Lloris. Lloris again, booted it forward, and once again, French play moonball brought down here by Mbappe. Mbappe now against Sterling, and rightfully so, he might just take this to the corner to waste some time. Mbappe went down. No whistle from the ref. Once again, Pickford sends it up. Sterling tried hanging in the middle, and once again, Bellingham and crew continue to parry at the ball. Mount now towards Sterling. Sterling, control it for a while. Now to Rice. We're past 8 minutes of stoppage time. Obviously, Stone's injury causes it at least to a little bit to be a little prolonged. That is stoppage time. Rice on the right clips this one in, looking for Rashford, headed away as far as Maguire, edge of the box. Harry Maguire taken down. Free kick for England in a dangerous position as well. And again, we're getting close to that time that we could be seeing the last kick of the match. And of course, a lot of options there. Mason Mount on the pitch, Marcus Rashford on the pitch as well. Also standing over Luke Shaw. The English fans in their seat. They need something here. And it all comes down to potentially Marcus Rashford. Even David Beckham a little nervous about what's to happen. Olivier Giroud continues to just stand over the ball to kind of mess with them a little bit. Nonetheless, looking at this free kick, it's about 20 yards out. As I said, could be one of the last kicks, if not the last kick of the match. Rashford and Mount over it. One of those guys is a window shopper. One of the guys will probably have the hopes of an entire nation on his line, or at least on his feet. Looking at France the other way, they've got 5 guys on the wall, 1 guy down, that being Theo Hernandez under the wall. So here we go. 10th minute of stoppage time. Whistle has blown here. A chance for England. Here he is. Marcus Rashford over the bar. Over the bar. And he buries himself in frustration. Could have put it in the back of the net. A great chance missed there again. And of course, a lot of great guys. David Beckham there in the stands. Boy, is he known for hitting free kicks in clutch situations, especially for England. Unable to deliver any goods there. Hugo Lloris won't be able to take the goal kick. That's it from Bayt Stadium. And France is on to the semifinals 2-1. They defeat their classic rivals in England. And once again, as it's been for every World Cup since 1970, football is not coming home. Heartbreak for the Englishmen who put their hearts and souls into that. Harry Kane, too. Boy, what a miss there. Had a chance in about the 84th minute or so to equalize for England from the spot, skied the penalty, and France once again continues to defy the champions' curse. They become the first team, the first reigning champ to advance to the semifinals since Brazil did it in 1998. What a win. What a moment for the French national team. A team without Paul Pogba, a team without N'Golo Kante, a team without Karim Benzema. A lot of their key players at the start of this World Cup, despite a lot of them being reserves to start off, they walk out of here with the victory 2-1. And with that, our semifinals are now set. Argentina versus Croatia will be your first one on a Tuesday. That one will be at Tuesday at 2 p.m. at Lusail Stadium. Your second one will be a matchup that's kind of reminiscent to world history. France versus Morocco. That one will be Wednesday at 2 o'clock at Bayt Stadium. So that does it for my coverage. Of course, thanks for tuning in. If you tuned in earlier today, thank you for tuning in to the Morocco-Portugal match. Obviously, this is my last doubleheader. I'll be back for Tuesday's semifinal alongside Wednesday. All the matches in general from here on out, we got right here on YouTube. For now, I'm Mihir Hassan. So long, good night, and stay safe.